Happy Halloween! In this video, we'll be looking at the 15 scary moments caught on camera that'll ruin your Halloween. In this video, these men walk in one after the other into a pawn shop in Houston and immediately come charging into the store. The camera seems to linger on one man who appears to be keeping a lookout, watching for passers-by. The camera pans to the register, where an armed man jumps on the counter, pointing a weapon in the cashier's face. The cashier quickly complies, opening his record and allowing the men to get the money. They pull the cashier's back camera and quickly make their way outward to the door. The third man is standing by, ready to pull the door when his partners are running. The men mainly had obscured faces because they knew better to avoid detection. This group moves quickly with some level of practice. Unfortunately, they are all too ready to storm this weapon shop. They set up a chain to the back of a truck and yank off the bars. There's a little pushback from the metal, but within next to no time, they yank off the gates. All the men ran simultaneously, jumping the counters and going for their weapons. They make their way through the store with some efficiency, which is essential given that they're on an extreme time limit. There's likely an alarm that they've tripped either from smashing the gates, the displays, or something else that's been chipped. The masked men go in and out, running back and forth and grabbing a few more things before escaping. They weren't caught either. The robbers got away with their weapon shop blunder. Imagine getting off work or school to take your regular bus back home. On October 21st, the lady filming was at her typical bus stop when a clown was casually sitting on the bench.
So he's walking to a bus stop this morning to catch the bus. You're not gonna believe what's sitting here.
He seemed to be a sleeper, just sitting very still on the side of it. He could be seen holding a sign that says, "What haunts me?" The lady filming from her phone wisely says she'll be taking a different bus.
They must take a different bus. This dude is way too creepy.
Ugh, these creepy clowns. People behave erratically when they think they're stuck somewhere. This man quickly devolves into a panic when he realizes that his elevator isn't moving.
Hello?
He pries the door before turning to the security camera to get someone's attention.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
He pulls his obvious jacket off, trying again to hit the call button and pry the door open. When he continues to fail, he begins beating on the door, the walls, and anywhere he can get his hands on. Lights cut off, and we see him struggling, trying to hit the call button. Now armed with his flashlight, but still stuck.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Unfortunately, his escape was not caught on camera as the view suddenly cut, and he was plunged into complete darkness. In this video, a quick-thinking gas station attendant rescued a kidnapping victim in North Carolina. This happened Wednesday afternoon. Police say the woman came into the gas station begging for help. She says that she had been kidnapped and convinced her captors to stop so that she could use the restroom, but they were waiting with guns in the car outside. The clerk discreetly handed the woman her cell phone to call 911. The clerk also locked the front door, but didn't want to let the kidnappers know that she was onto them, so she let them inside.
I knew that if I left the door locked, they would have caught on to something and probably took off. So I went back up there and I unlocked the door. They seriously had no idea that I knew anything.
A few minutes later, a police officer stormed in and arrested the 4 suspects. Police say the victim was kidnapped earlier and sexually assaulted. The clerk says she doesn't consider herself a hero. She's grateful that the victim is safe and home with her family. YouTuber Carnage celebrates his channel's 100K subscribers by exploring an abandoned location. He decides on the abandoned Motspur Park gas station in London, England. The place is difficult to access, so he gets help from a local group familiar with the area. They warn him about the person who hangs out at the towers who goes by the Gas Man, but Carnage seems to disregard the group's warning. They guide him through the gas towers up to the top. He's nervous about how high up they are, so he heads back down and continues to explore the area. Carnage can't shake the feeling that someone is watching him. They find thick red liquid on some of the handlebars, making him even more paranoid. They hear noises coming from a shed and decide to check it out. That's where they encounter a man wearing a gas mask. Terrified, the group runs away without looking back. It's unclear if this man was just pranking the group or was upset that they were trespassing on his stomping grounds. No further information on the incident could be found. This clip catches what appears to be a carjacking in broad daylight. The vehicle's owner didn't lock their car correctly, running into the gas station without a care, and the thief, as if it was easier than anything else, walks right up into the front seat and begins their work. Unfortunately for him and the person inside, there was someone inside the car, which means someone was there to witness the beginning of their car robbery. Quickly, the side doors open and the person in the back seat scrambles out of the car. It's unclear how much of an imminent threat the carjacker posed to the person outside of being a carjacker, but something got them moving and fast. This trooper had to act quickly. Visibility was low and the roads were dangerous. Despite his high visibility jacket, very little could be done to keep him safe from a freak highway accident. Luckily, he managed to get to safety just in time as a minivan swerves off the road and dives to safety. He doesn't have his hazards on, but that might not have been enough to save him. Thinking quickly and even quicker movement saved the day, but it's probably best not to push his luck after that one. These three suspects were caught on camera in a brazen home invasion robbery of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley. Police are hoping the picture will lead them to the suspects. The 45-year-old reality star was home during the terrifying crime. Police say the robber threatened to kill her as she pleaded for her life, her children asleep in their room. In the video, two suspects are calmly walking up to this house. It appears they discussed their plans at the back door before breaking in. Investigators say they made off with expensive handbags, luggage, jewelry, and watches. The suspect stashed from robbery so large they dragged it out in a sheet. The LAPD hopes this clear video of Klemsey's robbery will be the key to cracking. I hope the police catch them soon. If this train pulls up to your station, you'd probably wait for it to go through. The video was aptly named Train to Hell because it looks like it's brought from the underworld. In what seems to be an active running train station, this broken-off train sits burning and abandoned but still driving on. What would you do if you saw this on your station? Let me know in the comments. Check out this man walking around his car while appearing to case the back of a Holy Grail restaurant. The restaurant owner was getting ready to leave the restaurant for the night on Monday. He left his office for a minute to say goodbye to the staff. Watch how the handlebar slowly turns. This man peeks in with no one inside. He brazenly moves towards the black money bag, Notice one hand is gloved. He's in and out in less than 30 seconds. When the owner came back and saw the bag missing before he called the police or his wife, he checked the office camera and saw the man. In the bag was 3 weeks of restaurant receipts and cash. Wow, that was the quickest robbery I've seen. This video was posted by Doorbell News on October of 2022. In this video, a truck going too fast crashes into a tree. Due to a recent hurricane, the streets were slick and going fast on this road wasn't an intelligent choice. The driver paid the price for not driving carefully. Please, drive safely. This dashcam footage was taken from a pickup truck in Chile. The driver had just gone a highway on a ramp. As he continued forward, the vehicle just in front of him started using the brakes to slow down. Eventually, they came to a complete stop altogether. That's when the vehicle's door swings open. 2 guys got out, one was armed. Initially, the driver tried reversing out of there, but there was now a car behind him. This gave him no option but to push forward. The vehicle was moved far enough for the driver to get on the highway. During the push, the brake lights of the attacker's car are shown turning on. But this was almost no effect on the pickup. The video was then directed to the police to help identify the men. It was also posted online, which a few days later, the actual owner of the vehicle used by the men recognized the car as their own. The car had been stolen a few days before the video was taken. This led police to believe that the men were also trying to steal pickup. You never expect to go into a shift and be faced with horrifying expectations, be those a long shift or dangerous abuse. Under the guise of being a police officer, this young worker at McDonald's was coerced into stripping down and sitting in the manager's office for 3 hours by her manager.
I was scared. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do. I was petrified.
She covered herself in an apron, but no one knew what was happening. She was passed off between managers, only giving some of the information and told to do increasingly insane tasks like jogging in place, bending over, and a lot more.
I begged her every time she came in the room, get me out of here. Please get me out of here. Donna, please, please. I didn't do anything wrong. Please believe me.
The maintenance worker finally called the police, and the worker was released from her torment. Stay tuned for our #1 pick that will shock you. Seeing a clip of a murderer before their crime is one thing, but this man was caught on CCTV like nothing was about to happen. He and a friend were out, chatting and joking together like nothing was going on. They got out, ran to the store, walked back home, and then moments later, CCTV caught Sean as he ran from the crime scene. He had a hunting knife in his hand. The weapon was used to kill his friend. He might not have been a serial killer, but it's still unnerving to watch him joke and play around for a few hours before he kills his friend. Luckily, thanks to pinpoint CCTV, he was caught and arrested shortly after that. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.